Alright, here we have a short video titled Problem Solving Equations with a Variable. First, let's review solving for a variable in an equation. Remember that the intent is to isolate the variable one step at a time. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. We end up with 1.5y equals 31. Now we have to divide that left side by 1.5 as well as the right side to isolate the variable y. Y equals 20.67. Okay, let's do a couple more. So there we have our equation. Again, we're trying to isolate the variable x. So the first thing we do is we subtract 15 from both sides. We get minus x over 3 equals 11. And then we're going to multiply both sides by minus 3. And we find that x equals minus 33. Over on the right side, we have a new equation. This time we have to use the distributive property. And we have to distribute 1/2 across b minus 8. So 1/2 b, and then we have 1/2 times minus 8, which ends up being minus 4. So now we're going to have to add 4 to both sides, right here. So when we add 4 to both sides, it disappears from the left side, and the right side ends up being 24. So now to get rid of the 1/2, we're going to have to multiply both sides by 2. And when we multiply both sides by 2, we end up with b equals 48. Alright, now we're going to tackle some word problems. The sale price of a premium television service is $45 a month plus $15 off the first month. How many months of premium television service could you pay for if you had $650? What does the problem tell you? Well, it tells you that you're going to have $45 a month plus $15 off. That $15 off is going to be a minus 15 off the first month. What you need to know is the variable. So the variable is the how many months of service. Now we can come up with an equation. So 45 is the monthly fee times how many months plus where did the 30 come from? Well, let's go back to the problem. You get $15 off the first month. So 45 minus 15 is 30. So that's where we get the 30. And then it equals the $650 that we actually have. Remember that the variable y in this problem is the number of months because that's what we're looking for. Now that we have the equation, we're going to solve it. We're going to solve for the problem. So remember, 45y plus 30 equals 650. Our intent is to isolate the variable y. So we're going to subtract 30 from both sides. Then we're going to divide both sides by 45. And we find that y equals 13.77. But does that answer the question? The question is how many months of service? Well, we have $650 to start with. Looks like the maximum number of months the service can be paid for is only 13. Why don't we round that to 14? Well, we don't because if our solution is 13.77, the 0.77 is only partial month. Since we're going to pay for an entire month, the most months we can pay for is 13. We don't have enough to pay for a 14th month. Alright, let's try another one. A car manufacturer is able to produce 155 cars a week. Bob's Auto has an order for 700 cars. If 200 have been delivered, how many more weeks will it take for Bob's Auto to receive the rest of the cars? Well, you notice in our equation, we have the 700 minus 200. 200 have already been delivered. So now we have the manufacturer can do 155 per week. and we have 500 that still have to be delivered. So 155n divided by 155, same thing on the other side, 500 divided by 155. We find that n equals 3.23 weeks. So what does that tell us? We have to interpret our solutions. The solution tells us that it takes a little more than 3 weeks. So the answer to the actual problem is 4 weeks. Alright, well that ends this very brief video on problem solving equations with a variable specific to word problems. Enjoy the activity.